Yo, hey guys, how you doing? Welcome. We are starting a good stream today. It's gonna be a great stream. We're doing our Q&A finally. I know that's been highly requested by many people in the chat. Two things though. We're gonna wait for for a couple more people to join. There's Baby Aiden. Hey dude, what's up? Zeke could not join us today, unfortunately. That is the sad news. That is the bad news. But that's okay. I got a new prop back here. So we've added another arcade game onto, yeah. So you know what? Decaf. It's decaf. We've officially added another arcade game. So we had Tempest and now we have Pac-Man. Yeah. And it's a real one. It works, I think. It's got like it's one of like the newer ones, so it's got like 50 games on it from that era. And I do have my coffee. That is correct. Today I had to do the coffee today, unfortunately. Today's gonna be really exciting. You guys asked a lot of good questions in the Q&A channel, and we've gotten some logo submissions. They're interesting, but we also have some Fiverr logo submissions as well. So kind of the whole branding and everything is really on the up and up for BitNations, which is great. For today's stream as well, it's like not gonna be too long, so we're gonna do the Q&A, and then I'm gonna go over some roadmap stuff. I think there's like some interesting feature requested there, and then we'll maybe take some more questions, and then that'll be the end of this stream, and then I'll stream again later tonight some actual coding stuff. And just as a reminder, War is launching in 7 days. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off. I've been working very hard on it, but we'll see how that all works out. Okay, cool. Let's like jump right into it. Camera 2. There we go. All right. So first things first, the nation of Dragonlandia. Let's take a look at Dragonlandia while we're all here. Dragonlandia is a benevolent dictatorship. Cool. What motivated you to start building BitNations, and what helped a lot on the way to where we are nowadays? Wow, that's a great question. And it's a loaded question. This actually has quite an answer to it. Let's see, where do I begin? So ever since I was like a kid, like when I was like 12 or 13, I had this idea to make a game where you can run your own nation. And I kind of was obsessed with this idea for a while, and I didn't know how to program, and I kind of tried to learn, and I kind of tried to put things together, but like I just didn't have the expertise or the knowledge at that age to actually build a video game. And so I kind of just like kept my ideas in a file on my computer and kind of stored them away and went on with my life, you know, finishing high school and learning to program later on in life and working for different companies. And I did that for like about 8 years. I kind of just like forgot about the BitNations idea. And then a couple years ago, when my dad passed away, kind of unexpectedly, shortly after he passed away, I reached this point in my life where I was like, you know what, like life is short, and everything I want to do, I should do in life. And one of the things that was on my list that I always wanted to do was make this nation simulation game. And so one weekend I sat down for 3 days straight, did not move from my computer, and cranked out the very first version of BitNations just for fun. Thanks for the follow. And I threw it up online. I put it up there for no reason. I didn't think anyone was ever going to find it or play it. I just wanted to put it online for myself as part of my portfolio, or like my resume, if you will. And I just realized I think I was looking at the wrong camera like that whole time. Sorry about that, guys. And then about like 8 months after that, I started getting these emails, and the emails were from the company that hosts my servers, the servers for BitNations. And they were like, oh, your server's crashed, you know, something's gone wrong, it needs your attention. And I was like, what the heck is this? Like, is somebody randomly trying to hack me? Is like my website, my random little website, like getting a DDoS attack for like no reason? And so I finally opened up the email and looked, and I saw a huge influx of traffic. And so I thought it was a DDoS attack. I thought it was hackers literally making just millions of requests to the website to bring it down just for the heck of it. And I was like, geez, why am I a target? But as I started looking at the analytics, I realized that actually it was not a DDoS attack. It was not fake requests. It was actual users playing the game. And when I looked into the admin dashboard and I saw the user signups, I think there was somewhere around 1,000 users signed up to the game. Excuse me. And that's when I realized, whoa, somehow people are finding this game. And so that's kind of how this journey began. It's been a few months since then, and we've gone from a couple thousand users to nearly 15,000 users. Actually, I think we're past 15,000 users now. We're on our way to 20,000 users, which is just crazy to think about. Mostly because, like I said, I built this game for me. I built it for fun. I built it the way I wanted to play it, and it's just as just something to do to check off my list in life of all the things I want to do. And the fact that you guys found it and love it and play it and share it is like incredible to me. It's actually super motivating. So yeah, that's kind of the question from Dragonlandia. We could look into it. Let's take a look at Dragonlandia while we're here, and then we'll move on to the next question. So Dragonlandia is a medium nation, 925,000 square kilometers, currently in the digital age. Very cool. Its GDP is 5.5 trillion. The economy is booming. Nice. Actually, we could see that. We could see they've recently had a boom. Did they know we were going to put their nation on display? Just kidding. It looks like they're a little bit unhappy. Very spiritual. You know, they got moderate stats here with the spirituality maxed out. That's good. They've got 5 cities, 3 colonies. This is a solid nation. And they're in the ALCI, the Alchemy Islands. They're actually the owner of the Alchemy Islands Alliance. That's cool. Combined 2 billion soldiers, 14.9 trillion GDP. A lot of members. Very cool, very cool. Well, thanks, Dragonlandia, aka Jade, for your question. Appreciate that. Let's see what we have next. Do you have, this question's from Rosaloxia. There's Rosaloxia. Do you have anything planned in the future besides BitNations? Another game? Anything? That's also a really great question. So, let me switch to the camera here. As of now, I don't have any other games or like programming projects on the radar. Actually, funny enough, after I left the last company I was working at, I was planning on kind of taking a break from tech and programming for a while and pursuing a career potentially in law enforcement or something in that direction. And so I started going back to school for criminal justice, and I'm doing a lot of physical training to prepare for potentially going in that direction career-wise. And that was basically my plan after I left my last tech company I was at. However, around that same time when I left that company, BitNations was really starting to pick up. And so at this point, with the momentum that we have and the way things are going, I think that BitNations is probably going to be the thing I do for the next however long. As far as other games, there are other games I built in the past that I also built for fun, but I never released them. If BitNations, or when BitNations does really well, and we get to a point where it generates some income, potentially what I've considered is converting more to like a game studio and possibly cranking out some other types of games. But as of now, it's really just a very fuzzy long-term picture. My main passion right now is BitNations. So let's take a look at Rosaloxia a little bit here. Medium nation, 4.5 trillion GDP. The economy is expanding. Good. We got some moderate growth happening there. That's great. They're a benevolent dictatorship, which this is, by the way, newly added. This the emoji next to the government type. This was in the last update. So you'll notice now government types have their own special emoji, which is pretty cool. Also in the digital age, 1 city and 2 colonies. Okay, so they're going, and they are in the Kiwi God Demon Empire. Sorry, Alliance, not Empire. I was thinking Kiwi Empire. With a $21.1 trillion combined GDP and 187 million soldiers with 9 members. Very cool. Very cool. One thing you might notice about Rosaloxia is they have like this little emoji on the right side of their name. See that, guys? So he's got his flag, his nation name, and then he's got a little emoji there. You might see a couple nations that have that, by the way. And there is a way to get it, since we're on this topic. If you head over to Patreon, patreon.com/BitNations, you can check out our memberships. And if you subscribe, you can subscribe to either the Stone Age or the Space Age. It helps support the project. Like I said, I left my last company. I don't have a source of income. BitNations is all I work on. And we have server costs to keep things running. And so if you want to subscribe, if you want to support the project, Patreon's a great way to do that. And there's a lot of in-game perks and bonuses that you can get by being a subscriber, such as a little bit more dedicated support if you have any in-game issues, some more weight to your voting on future features and roadmap, and as well an in-game emoji such that Rosaloxia has here. So you guys could go check that out. Just looking at the chat now, Pascal, I know this might not be the best time, but do you think we could add Greg? That's a great question. I would, but we'll do that on the next stream. So for those of you who don't know, Greg is our little desktop pet friend. We every stream we have people in the chat choose little pets who walk around on the screen, computer screen, and kind of get in my way and annoy me while I'm trying to program. It's a lot of fun. But we're gonna save Greg for later. Okay, next question. The next entry is not exactly a question, but it's worth mentioning. It's from Kiwi Empire, aka Laser Kiwi. Kiwi noises, Kiwi noises, Kiwi noises, and that's from Kiwi Empire. So thank you, Kiwi, for your beautiful submission to the Q&A. We could take a look at Kiwi's nation here if we want to. Let's see, we got 935,000 square kilometers in the digital age. Very nice. $5.24 trillion GDP. Very good, very good. The economy is stagnant. This happens, late stage nations. You've kind of capped out a lot of your resources, capped out a lot of your growth, your population, your land. That's kind of what happens. But Kiwi is a monarchy. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Wow, actually, Kiwi is in the information age. My bad. It looks like the nation description says digital age, and it did not update properly to the information age. So that's something I need to look into after this. Overall, pretty low stats. Spirituality is maxed out, but happiness, intelligence, and freedom are relatively low. That might mean he has some crime in his nation, but we'll never know. And again, with Kiwi, you could also see he's got the special little Kiwi emoji next to his name as a contributor to the BitNations project. Kiwi is one of our Twitch mods, and so is RSV, by the way. That's how they earn their in-game badges. And again, if you want to earn an in-game badge, go ahead and subscribe and help us on Patreon. Next question. This comes from the great nation of Dravidia. We have Dravidia here. Yes. Here's the question. If BitNations becomes a big game and you're famous, will you still remember me? Oh, in the community too. Thanks, Red Light Studios, for the follow. Appreciate it. If BitNations becomes a big game and I'm famous, more like when BitNations becomes a big game and I'm famous, and will you still remember me / us, the community? No, I won't. You see, you guys, you're a stepping stone to my plans for world domination. I'm kidding, guys. No, this is a great question. One thing I don't think you guys understand is the reason why I'm working on this is because of you guys. If it wasn't for you guys with your feature requests and your ideas and your passion and your enthusiasm about this project, I would have zero reason to continue to work on it. In fact, it's what gets me up in the morning and makes me sit here and code for hours on end to try to deliver the best possible gaming experience and features for you guys. And I take into account a lot of your guys' ideas and input. It's not always the deciding factor in what we're going to do, but I definitely listen to the community and what you guys are saying. And absolutely, I will never forget the early adopters of the game and pretty much everyone in the community who's like active and helpful in every way. So Dravidia, great question. I'm always going to remember you guys. Don't worry about that. Let's take a look at the great nation of Dravidia. 449,000 square kilometers. So Dravidia is in the prestige age. So that is denoted by this icon that does not have words after it at the moment. So a future feature coming down the pipeline on our roadmap is the ability to prestige your nation. So once you age all the way up, if you decide to prestige, you actually do start completely over all the way back into Stone Age again. However, you unlock an achievement and you unlock some in-game bonuses for you, and possibly some other things too. That the details are being worked out. So for now, if you've reached the prestige age, you're basically kind of just in the prestige age right now. The benefits aren't quite there yet, but that is coming in probably late January, and we'll take a look at the roadmap soon. We got a medium nation, 4 million soldiers, very big. Looks like the economy is booming. It's had a. I'm curious how many of you guys are just booming your economy as I'm streaming right now, so that when I show your nation, you got a nice little peek there. Like, what are you guys doing? Just like cutting your taxes to zero for like 20 turns? I'm just kidding. 4 cities, 3 colonies, really good population stats, well maintained. Recently, an update came out that has made population stats actually quite challenging, and I think maybe a little too challenging in some ways. And I know a lot of people have really, how do I put this, ticked off the people of their nations. So to maintain such good happiness, well done, Great Dravidia. And Great Dravidia is in the United Socialist Alliance, 86 members. This is a large alliance. It looks like Aquafin Republic is the owner of this alliance. 86 members, $94.6 trillion in GDP, and just over 1 billion soldiers. Well done. Well done. Very cool, guys. Okay, I'm seeing some more questions pop in the Q&A channel now, and we're not even through the originals yet. So bear with me. Can you send help? Okay. This is from Flurbia. Is that Flurbia? Yes, the nation of Flurbia asks, when you send help, the Galactic Empire won't stop hitting me with orbital strikes. Maybe being a planet in BitNations was a bad idea. Well, you know, I'm not quite sure what this question means. Oh, it's not even a question. I'm not sure what I could do about it, but I like this idea of planets in BitNations. What could that mean for the future roadmap? Planets? Would that mean there's galaxies? Would that mean there's different multiverses? Why would we need multiverses? Yeah, good. I think Flurbia is onto something there, but I won't spoil it yet. Let's take a look at the nation of Flurbia, who's in the Death Watch Alliance. This is a fledgling alliance. It's on its way, but it's got a $6.72 trillion GDP. There is a bug in alliances right now. It looks like it's double counting when you're just a single member alliance. But hey, whatever. Take it, right? Medium nation, 935,000 square kilometers. Good. 5 cities and 3 colonies. Pretty good. They're also in the prestige age. And their nation is authoritarian mob rule. Again, let me know if you guys like these icons by the government types. That was just released in the last update. There is a known bug, and look, here's a perfect example. We all get to look at it together. Especially later stage in the game, for some reason, the graph gets all squashed every so often. Sometimes it resets. Sometimes it does this for like 20 turns. It's going to be worked on. It's going to be fixed. Bigger priorities. We got to get the war functionality, some big stuff done. But it is on the way, so don't you guys worry about that. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I was on the wrong screen. Here we go. Flurbia. Authoritarian mob rule, and this is the graph bug I was talking about. Sorry for making that so tiny and you guys couldn't see it. Okay. Okay. Our next question comes from Benny, I believe, which is the nation of Yanak. Hope I'm saying that right. Let's see. Where is Benny's question? Oh, you know what? Okay, we'll go with Benny's question here right now. Slash nations. There's Benny. Okay, and first we'll do the question, and then we'll take a look at his nation. Benny asked, "What made you want to start streaming? Also, do you also work on the game while you're not streaming, and if so, why?" Sorry, that's a funny question for me. You'll see why in a moment. But first of all, what made me decide to start streaming? I don't know. I actually don't know. I think I was just like sitting here programming. Actually, I do know. One of the early BitNations users, Sir Anakin, who's our mod in the Discord channel, in the Discord community, I think him and Benny, I think you do. I think you guys were like, "Hey, why don't you stream? Like, what are you working on? Like, can we watch?" And I was like, "Dude, it's boring. I'm just like staring at a terminal window and like code. Like, it's not that exciting." But we started. This was like 5 months ago. We started doing BitGod. We started doing streams in the BitGod streams channel. You can see it in the Discord community. And I would just share my screen and have my camera on and just sit there, and we'd hang out, play some music, play some remixes of Sir Winston Churchill speeches, and I would code the game. They would have ideas. I would maybe make some. Oh, is something wrong with the audio, guys? Hold up. Let me pause. I just saw the chat. Are you hear everything? Okay, cool. So I stopped the music for a second. I thought there was an issue. And so we were in the Discord community, and I was just kind of doing that with those guys, and people were kind of dropping in, dropping out, and it was nice. It was cool to just be social, while I'm working. And it was also great to be able to just like, as I'm kind of working on features, be like, "Hey, what do you think about this? Does this look cool? Like, would you want it this way?" And basically live coding and kind of changing the code and getting an immediate feedback. And I thought that was awesome. So eventually, after kind of doing it internally in the Discord channel, I decided, kind of based on your guys' feedback and kind of the demand, to just open it up to Twitch and YouTube. And it's been surprising. I think I've only been streaming for less than 2 weeks, and I mean, our YouTube videos get like 1,000 views. The Twitch videos get about 70 views after they've been streamed. Sometimes we get anywhere from like 3. We always have our consistent crew of people who are in every live stream. But once the video's been posted for 24 hours, it gets about 70 to 100 views, which is like, this is incredible. Like, I never thought coding could be so exciting. And really, it's you guys who make it exciting. For the second part of your question, Benny, do you work on the game while you're not streaming? Absolutely. So, as much as I love co-working with you guys and collaborating, as much as I love you guys watching me work, sometimes it gets distracting, and sometimes I need, when I'm working on a very challenging problem and I'm banging my head against the wall, and I just want to like scream and maybe throw something across the room. I can't do that on live stream, although I'm sure it'd be great for viewership. So there are absolutely a lot of times where I do code and figure things out off stream. Also, if I'm working on anything that might be proprietary or that I wouldn't necessarily want shared to the public, or that I'm working on, anything that contains secret keys or anything like that, I make sure that's not on stream. But maybe we will throw something next time. We'll see. But yeah, it's a good question, and I think going forward though, but to be honest, like I do stream quite a lot of stuff. Like the last 2 updates that were pushed to production were streamed. And if you didn't know this, and if you haven't watched the streams before, we push code live. Like you could be playing the game and watching my stream, and when you see me program that and push it, you can refresh your browser and you will have those updates on your computer. We do everything live. The whole from ideation to development to production, we do it live. And that's also really exciting. So I can get immediate feedback. And the best part about that is the bug reports that come in. I can release something, and then, if there's any issues, I know right away. And so that's really, really helpful. Let's take a look at the nation of Yanak. Or did we already look at Yanak? No, we're looking at it now. He is in T-Bun. T-Bun, cute. That is the Bit Union alliance, which Yanak is the owner of. 35 members, $27.1 trillion in GDP, 329 million soldiers. Wow, that is awesome. Congratulations on your alliance. His GDP his economy is booming right now. Absolutely booming. I mean, I think he went from looks like he went from a $1.8 trillion GDP to a $4.59 trillion GDP. How did you just doubled your GDP in between questions on the stream? Just kidding. This is Yanak. It's a free market capitalist society. Very cool. He's in the prestige age. He's got 20 million soldiers, 2 billion citizens. His population stats are looking pretty solid. 5 cities and 3 colonies. Well done. And great question. Who do we have next? Scanning. I'm losing track because you guys are adding more questions to the channel now. Have you had? Oh, I skipped Granada. I apologize to the nation of Granada. I skipped you. We're gonna go find you right now. There we go. I apologize for that, Granada. So the nation of Granada asks, have you had anyone helping you, or is this completely solo? Also, when this game becomes big, remember us. Okay. No, Fastball, you are next, but I skipped somebody, so I had to go back and do that question, and then you're next. So Fastball, you'll be next. 2-part question. So my previous coworker, Andre, he's helped a little bit. Well, he's going to help a little bit. He's working on another project, and so we're trying to figure out a timetable where he can help. So far, he's been kind of just researching and getting caught up on the code before he actually contributes anything. But for the most part, it's just a solo project. There's no one else on the team. It's just me. Yeah, it's just me at the moment. But I would say, in a lot of ways, outside of the programming part of the game, the community has been a massive help. I mean, if you look at our Twitch mods and our Discord mods and the feedback and how helpful you guys are to each other, I mean, I have to say, this is honestly one of the best communities I've been a part of. It's active. It's active for how many people there are, and you guys are super helpful with each other. New people who are new to the game come in, start asking questions that we've all know the answer to, or we all seen the answer 1,000 times because we've been in this community for a long time, and everybody steps up to help that new player. Nobody's tired of it or annoyed by it. I mean, I think it's fantastic. It's huge, and that's a massive help to me. It takes a big weight off my shoulders to know that the community's got my back, helping each other. Also, when this game becomes big, remember us. Oh gosh, dude, I'm gonna remember all of you. Trust me. You guys are a huge part of this project, honestly, and I'm honored to work with you all. Okay, so let's take a look at the nation of Granada. Can you guys see that? Okay, is that big enough? Just let me know. Medium nation, 935,000 square kilometers. Liberal paradise. That's cool. I haven't seen a liberal paradise government type before. That's cool. Congratulations. Also a pop in GDP. What a coincidence. Everyone's GDP just happens to be popping right before we live stream. Right before their questions, right before we review their nation in front of the world. They just happen to have a GDP pop off. Huh. Interesting. I wonder why that is. All the oppression, suddenly when the world is looking at your nation, all the oppression is gone. All the your population's suddenly a lot happier. Everyone's all happy. The economy's booming just all of a sudden. I'm going to go back and I'm going to look back at everyone's nations after this stream is done and just watch what you guys are really doing to your people. It's funny when you're on the Bitverse stage, in front of everyone. I'm just playing, guys. Granada was probably a totalitarian government shortly before this stream, and now suddenly they're a liberal paradise. I just played. So, happiness, intelligence, spirituality, freedom, pretty moderate stats. That's okay. The stats in the last update have been pretty tricky to work with and a steep learning curve, and in some ways need to be adjusted. So that's pretty good. 5 cities, 3 colonies, also in the prestige age, and Alchemy Islands, ALCI, is the alliance that Granada is in, and that's Dragonlandia's alliance. 10 members, $14.9 trillion. and quite a lot of soldiers. Very cool. All right, next we have Fast Claws Nation, New Canada. Oh, is it New Canada? Oh, just kidding. Real quick, before we get to Fast Claw, I just saw somebody post in the Twitch chat. I helped set up the Brave Reward thing. Brescia, wait, what's the Brave Reward thing? Do you mind DMing me on Discord and filling me in on that? I had no idea we had a Brave Reward thing going. That is, I don't know what that is, and it sounds awesome. So please send that to me. Think with me on that. That might be news to me. I didn't know that. Fastball, the Nation of New Canada asks, can you get rid of the money cap? Because once PvP and trade are added, I want to do a bit tournament where I give the winner a ton of money. Interesting. That is a really interesting idea. As far as capping money, right now there is a cap on population, there is a cap on money. At a certain point, the numbers start to get really big, and it's very demanding on the servers, and it costs me a lot more money. And so until we can figure out how to deflate the BitNations economy, meaning that things are more expensive and money's not so cheap, so that the numbers are naturally lower and your dollars are more valuable in the game, then we can maybe start reducing or increasing the caps a little bit. But right now it's a little bit too easy to make so much money so quickly, which is fine for now. But eventually, I think there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment on kind of like the inflation, if you will, in the game. And for the second part of that question, I want to do a bit tournament where I give the winner a ton of money. That sounds like an interesting idea. I'm not sure what a bit tournament is, but I love the idea. Maybe you could share more about that sometime, or put it in the general channel. Features idea, feature request, maybe. I'm very curious what that is. But yes, I think that kind of similar to the way alliances will work. There is a way you guys can pool resources and money and redistribute it the way you guys vote on redistributing it. That'll come later with Alliance Feed too, which is on the way. Let's take a look at New Canada. So New Canada is a centrist republic. Very nice. It is 935,000 square kilometers. Its economy stagnant. Again, late stage nation, expected. They've got a $7.44 trillion GDP. That's really good. Their population stats are really high. Their freedom's a little low, but happiness is up there, and that's a big contributor to GDP. They got 5 cities and 3 colonies and 17.3 million soldiers. That is a lot. That would mean they have a small military compared to its population, but that's okay. They're in the TURT Alliance, Turtles. 5 members. This is a new alliance, it looks like. New Canada being the owner of this alliance. $11.5 trillion GDP, 74 million soldiers, 5 members. Very, very cool. Well done, and great question. Okay. Back to the intermission screen. Fastball 2. It's where I get a bunch of people and make them fight to the death. The last man standing gets a ton of stuff. Okay, so you want to be like the Mr. Beast of BitNations? Absolutely. Go ahead. I won't stop you. I think it's a brilliant idea. In fact, bit tournaments are going to be a thing in the future. Once War is released, we will stream bit tournaments. There's going to be a dedicated server just for tournaments with real prizes. That is not until like May of next year on the roadmap, but it is something that is coming up. Okay, next. Let me just pull up some things here. You guys are adding more questions, so I guess this is going to be a slightly longer stream. Have you had anyone? Okay, what made you do that? Can you blah blah blah? Okay, Darkfall. Darkfall from the nation of Cordovaville. Cordovaville? Let me see if I can pop that guy open. Cordovaville. He asks, can you make a map system where people can create their own country shape? That's a great question. I would love a map system. Now, in the general chat, I posted earlier today or yesterday, forget when, Cordovaville, which is a map system is going to be incorporated in the game eventually. It's a little fuzzy exactly when, but there is, I think a very important thing when it comes to nations is the borders and kind of seeing, having a physical representation of your virtual nation and where it coexists with other nations, and how that whole system kind of is going to be set up and works. So it's a little bit tricky because this is a two-dimensional text-based game. And so how do we implement a good map system that looks like it belongs and doesn't look like it's a separate component to, it's got to really like the UI and the UX kind of has to fit together, right? And so if you look at in the general chat, there is a concept drawing in there of what it might look like. Eventually there's going to be a map system. So it's a great question. And I know some people have made their nations in Google Maps to represent it themselves. In fact, I think a couple months ago, there was somebody in the general chat who was, when we had War Alpha released, I think 5 months ago, we had an early stage version of War Alpha. And somebody in the community was keeping track of all the wars in the game and redrawing people's borders based on the outcomes of those wars. So I'm very much well aware of like how absolutely needed and loved a map idea would be. So that's on the roadmap for sure. Let's take a look. This is the nation of Cordovaville of the EU Alliance, 3-member alliance, $7.15 trillion GDP and 153 million soldiers. This is a newer alliance. Is it EU or EU? I'm not sure. But it's a fledgling alliance as well. We got a medium nation, nearly $5 trillion GDP. The economy is contracting a little bit of a recession maybe happening here in this beautiful centrist republic in the digital age with 2 billion citizens and 5 cities and 3 colonies. Happiness is low, intelligence is high, freedom is really low. Now, if we got a little tip here for the game. If your nation's military is so big, basically, if 4% of your population serves in the military, in order to achieve that number, it basically means military service is mandatory for your citizens. And so because of that, freedom goes down. And as well, if you spend a lot of money on police, you're kind of becoming more of a police state. And so that's probably why we see the freedom low in Cordovaville, is just because the military... if we look at here, it is a military state and requires citizens to serve, and that's just because of 2 billion people, 153 million people are soldiers. That's a huge chunk of the population to serve in the military. So that's probably why that is Cordovaville, just so you know. But beautiful nation, and I'm glad to see some honesty here. I'm glad Cordovaville didn't just try to look like a good nation to everybody for the live stream. They were just let it be. They were honest. Who do we have next? Aquafin Empire. Aquafin Empire. Let's actually pull up the empire first. Aquafin. Did I spell that wrong? Oh, I said it wrong. Is it Aqua or Aqua? I think it's Aquafin. Aquafin Republic says, will BitNations ever become a downloadable game on stream or another platform? Huh. Downloadable game. On Steam. I misread that. Not stream, on Steam. It could be. I think what's next on our roadmap first is an iOS, Android version of the game. Like a native app version of the game for mobile. And that's technically downloadable. So I could see this being downloadable on desktop as well. Yeah. And if that's the case, then sure, it may be listed on Steam. It's totally within reason. So great question, Aquafin. Let's take a look at Aquafin. Or Aquafin. It's funny because you guys... Oh. Aquafin is the correct pronunciation? Aquafin. Is it Aquafin or Aquafin? In the country, it's Aquafin Republic. You're right. It is Aquafin Republic. Aquafin Republic is a centrist republic with 2 billion citizens and 68 million soldiers. It has a large military. Cool. 5 cities and 5 colonies. The economy is stagnant, which is expected in a late-stage nation that's doing so well. A $6.94 trillion GDP. Great population stats. High happiness, maxed out happiness and spirituality, high freedom, and moderate intelligence. So well done. Aquafin Republic is in the United Socialists. This is a bigger alliance, 86 members, nearly $100 trillion combined GDP, and 1.1 billion soldiers, which is massive. And whoa, I did not know Aquafin Republic was the owner of the United Socialists of UNSO. I had no idea. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a massive alliance. So well done there. Well done. Who do we have next? Okay, I think we're at the last question, and then we could talk about we could discuss some other things and go from there. So this question's from the nation of Luania. Random question, but what music do you like? Great question. That's not too random. I listen to a wide variety of music, a wide range of music. I'd have to say it kind of changes depending on the weather. My music, like what I feel like listening to, it changes based on the time of year. It changes based on the weather. It changes based on like what I'm doing. If I'm working out at the gym, I like more intense music. If I'm working, I like real mellow, kind of lo-fi music. So the kind of the music you hear in the background, this is synthwave, royalty-free synthwave, but synthwave nonetheless. I like synthwave. I got into it maybe like a year ago. I like lo-fi music when I'm working. I like hardcore EDM and electronic music when I'm like at the club or I'm at the gym. And then other than that, those are kind of like specific. In general, I like classic rock. So I like Led Zeppelin. I can't even think of classic rock bands now that I'm on the spot. Like I like Creedence Clearwater Revival, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones. So a lot of classic rock as well. One of my favorite classic rock songs is Volcom Hurum, or whatever the name is. It's A Whiter Shade of Pale. Go listen to that song. It's moody for sure, but it's a great song. Let's take a look at Luania. Luania is a medium nation, 930,000 square kilometers in the technological age. Its economy is expanding. Slight expansion, but look at these population stats. Nearly maxed out on happiness, maxed out on intelligence, maxed out on spirituality, and has good freedom. It's hard to maintain freedom in the new update. I will say this. It can be very challenging to maintain a good freedom and have all your other stats up and your economy growing all at the same time. So well done there. Luania is a centrist republic, again in the technological age, 82 million soldiers, 2 billion citizens, 5 cities, 5 colonies. And they are in the Rus, reformed USSR, who's owned by Ukraine. 43 members, 62.2 trillion GDP, and 604 million soldiers. That looks like a very active alliance, if I'm not mistaken. But well done, Luania. Well done. One more question from Cordovaville. Join EU. Who am I even logged in as? Am I logged in as a nation right now? Oh yeah, I am. I'm BitNation. What? I think I broke my alliance. I'm in BitLeague. Oh, I own BitLeague. Okay, I didn't realize that. I'm probably gonna destroy this alliance at some point. 28 members, 13.4 trillion. Yeah, BitLeague is not doing too well. I'm not doing a great job with that alliance. I have to remain neutral as BitGod. BitGod can't play favorites unless you pray and make sacrifices to me. Just kidding. Okay. Let's go to the Bitverse again. And we have another question. Mr. BitGod, sir, person, man. What is your favorite food and color? My favorite food and color. Wow. Gosh, my favorite color. Orange. I like the right orange. Not all oranges, but there's one particular orange I really like. In fact, if you look at the new Corvette, the newest Corvette, the mid-engine Corvette, they came out with an orange on that car that I just am obsessed with. Like the orange on the new Corvette is my favorite color, specifically that orange. All other oranges, not a huge fan of. I'd rather like the color gray or something. But that orange in particular, it's like, oh. And what is my favorite food? Ooh, that's a tough one. I love food. I eat everything. I guess if I had to pick a favorite, I think I just like good old-fashioned ribeye steak. Good old-fashioned ribeye on the barbecue, medium rare, good seasoning. I think a good old ribeye steak's the way to my heart for sure when it comes to food. I'm gonna catch up on Twitch chat. Let's see what we have here. Everyone here, join Iwu. Okay, we have somebody trying to shield their alliance. Just kidding. That's totally fine. There's also an alliance channel in the Discord community if you go to the alliances, and I know a lot of alliances are posting links to their Discord for their alliance and recruiting members there. And there's also a treaties channel where I've been seeing a lot of alliances make treaties in there, which is really fascinating. I can't wait to kind of, this is what's so cool about the community as well, is a lot of what you guys are doing on your own is like going to be put on the roadmap and built into the game so that you don't have to use Discord to like form treaties. But in the meantime, it works now and it allows me to focus on major functionalities in the short term. Brescia Fire says my people are idiots. Oh no. You could spend money on education. I think that makes them smarter. Yeah, it should. It should at least. Let's take a look at the a brief overview of our roadmap, guys. This is a work in progress. There's a lot of things that still need to be added to this roadmap. But it's something. So, in this far left column here, let's make this bigger for you guys, is I screen cap a lot of your guys' feature requests. If you have feature requests or ideas, post it in the feature request channel in Discord. Some examples are, can Alliance give resources to members? I think it would be cool if there were 3 more research items: antimatter, warp drive, universal gateways. I think that's really fascinating, especially for the late stage stuff. Minor improvement, tell me what resources I'm short on. So for example, if you don't have enough wood, it should say, hey, you need 10 more wood to build that building. All 100% great ideas. And so I kind of take these feature requests, I take notes, and then we have our kind of epics or our big things that get done. You can see December, January, February, March, and so on and so forth. And I try to kind of roadmap from there. So far in December, we got these 3 items done: the password reset, the updating the help page and the home page, as well as like various other bug fixes in there that weren't really worth mentioning. But just to give you an idea, if you didn't know this, if you go to bitnations.co/help, or in your menu, if you hit game guide right here, there is a pretty extensive guide that kind of explains the whole game. It starts with all the different technologies that are available in the game, and then it shows you what technologies unlock what age, and then it shows you the details of that age. So for example, in the Stone Age, it shows you what buildings become available, what technology you can research, and what military units are available. And it kind of gets into the specific of what resources you're allowed to collect in that age. And it should also show you what technology unlocks what military units. And that's done for all the ages all the way to the end. There's a walkthrough of the buildings and how much land they give you, a walkthrough of nation issues, a list of all the different government types with their emojis, and so on and so forth. So you could check that out, and this will be maintained and updated as we release more features as well. Where can I search for an alliance? I want to join Iwu. If you want to search for an alliance, just go to bitnations.co. When you hit the menu button, you'll see a tab called Diplomacy, the little dove icon, and this is where you're just going to see a list of all the alliances. There is not a search. However, there's no search functionality built into it. However, all alliances, their URL is their tag. So for example, if I go to NATO, NATO is their tag name. So you can just go up to the bar here and you can manually enter it. So the alliance in question was, what was it? EW? No, I got that wrong. What was it? Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong here. Let's go back. You can also use the tab button down here on the bottom to just scroll through. Was it EW? Am I remembering this wrong now? I don't remember. Or was it EW? I think it can only be 4 letters. Or was it WE? I don't know. Uh-oh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can't do it that way. If the owner of EW Alliance decides to post a link, that would be very helpful, and then people can click on it. The other question I saw was, when's the new BitNations YouTube video coming out? Probably when War is released. I'm going to do a YouTube video walking through War and how it works. I'm also going to live stream that, but it will be its own dedicated video. In the month of December, that's our War beta that's coming out. So War Alpha was released 5 months ago. We took it back down. There was too much work that needed to be done on it, but the feedback was tremendously good. So War Beta is just going to be a better version of War Alpha. And by better version, I mean a version that won't crash the game. It won't break it for you. It works the same way. It's very similar. It's just a lot more cleaner, and it involves all military units across all the different ages. In January, we're going to start implementing monetization. Oh, yes, Red Light Studios. I think the Twitch YouTube chat automatically does not allow links in the chat. It's just disabled by default. But post it in the Discord channel, in the Alliances channel. I just saw somebody post it in there right now. Monetization V1. Although a big request from you guys has been, hey, the research time takes forever. And it does take a while. And to some degree, it's meant to take a while. You know, I know how fun and exciting it is in a video game to be able to get everything you want right away. But there is a reason for it kind of forcing you to take time and do other things as you're researching things. However, there could be ways to decrease your research time or decrease your building times when that feature gets released, and that is the ability to watch ads. This is great because if you watch ads, it helps support the game, it helps pay for the servers, but it also in return reduces your research time so you can age up faster. And the second option is, of course, our merch store, which is not fully launched yet, but I'll give you a little sneak preview since we're all here. Shop.bitnations.co. This is under construction, guys, and nothing's available quite yet, but it is getting set up. There's going to be a whole slew of sweaters, shirts, coffee mugs, and apparel kind of related to the BitNations game. Like, for example, in this case, there's a sweater that shows you your nation's dashboard or a nation dashboard. Pretty cool, pretty fun. So there's going to be some more stuff, especially as our new graphic designs come out, our new logos, our new banners. That's all being made right now in the background. When that stuff's done, when our new logo is complete, there's going to be some really cool merch coming out. So monetization V1 is set for January 1st, so you can expect to see our ads in the game that you choose to watch. There won't be advertising that ruins the UI or gets in your way. That's a big thing for me. I want to make sure the game is immersive and you feel like you're running a nation, not playing a game with ads in it. Also in January, Alliances V2. I know a lot of you had a lot of great ideas and a lot of questions for Alliances. So I've incorporated a lot of what you guys have said. And the idea is member nations, of the Alliance will be able to contribute resources to the Alliance. So this way an Alliance can pool its resources together. And you're going to want to do that because you're going to want to be able to build what are called mega wonders. Mega wonders are things like moon bases or galactic space stations or or space stations in general. Things that go way beyond just the small bit world and get into the bitverse. And that stuff's going to be coming down the roadmap as well. But the moon base is going to be the first mega wonder where everybody in the Alliance will benefit from that wonder. But it basically takes everybody in the Alliance to make that wonder, and it takes time. As well, that's just Alliances V2 is going to have that. Next, we have Trade V1, the first version of Trade, which is just an ability to trade with other users, whether they're in your Alliance or not. Of course, the exception being you can't trade with somebody you're at war with. Let's go, merch. That's cool. Thanks, Megal HD69. I better be getting my cut of the profits. RSV, there might be something we can work out there. We'll see. Bat can also be used for monetization. Yes, that's right, Brescia. Thank you for DM. I see your DM. I'll get to that after the stream. Thanks for helping with the Brave Reward stuff. I definitely need to learn about that. I'm curious to learn more. February, I don't have anything planned yet. Maybe it's to the world map. Maybe I'll just move everything up. iPhone and Android native app is definitely like multiple. That's going to be like a couple months of work. That's not something that just gets knocked out. And so I'm also going to add, if somebody said like a desktop version, and then in parentheses, I'll say Steam. There we go. So that's kind of the roadmap, guys. There's a lot of smaller features you guys have mentioned that aren't in here yet, but at a high level, that's kind of what we're looking at. Is there anything else? Any other things? I want to keep this stream to about an hour, just so that people rewatching it can kind of get straight to the point and learn a lot of things. I know we had a lot of viewers today, which is awesome. But this video is going to be posted around social media as just a video as well, because it is a really good update, you know, and it's awesome to see. Gosh, you guys are still posting in like all the channels and stuff. I can't even catch up with what you guys are saying. It's awesome to see like how absolutely involved and energetic the community is, and how respectful you guys are too. I mean, like, incredible. Like, you guys are helping each other. I mean, you guys are a solid community, seriously. And like I said in the very beginning, like, you guys are pretty much the only reason why I'm even building this game. It's I'm just gonna switch to the bigger camera. It's really cool. It's really cool to wake up and see all your guys' messages, because you guys are all in different time zones and stuff, and it's hard for me to actually like get away from Discord for a minute and like, hey, I need to actually get a few hours of sleep tonight. But first thing I do when I wake up is I open up the Discord when like my eyes are like still crusty and closed shut, and I start reading your messages, and then like that motivates me. I go to the gym, I come back, I shower, I sit down, I start coding. Sometimes I start streaming. So you guys are really like the biggest motivating factor, and I absolutely love just launching new features for you guys. But yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate you guys joining me today. If you have any other questions, I'm going to keep the Q&A channel open for a little bit longer, just throughout the day. Just if there's any other questions you guys want to ask, I'll answer them in there, and then I'll shut that down. But in the meantime, you know, do me a favor, subscribe to us on Twitch and YouTube, follow us on Twitter. You'll see the links below down there. And share us with your friends, and any ideas or future requests you guys have, just put them in the channels. I'm always looking in there. So guys, seriously, thank you so much. I really appreciate the community, and I'll see you guys all soon. Thanks.